Terrorism is in the headlines every day, with the people carrying out the attacks described as everything from freedom fighters to full-blown terrorists. But even the official line is less than concise. You can see the many government agencies in the U.S. don't have a cohesive definition. According to the State Department, no one definition of terrorism has gained universal acceptance within our government. This could have an impact on why the media hasn't defined the difference between regime states and rebels in varying countries around the world. The Department of State, Homeland Security, FBI, FEMA, they all use different definitions, and this could also play a part into why Senator Rand Paul is concerned about who could be considered a terrorist.
I had this debate with John McCain on the floor, and I said, you mean you could send an American citizen to Guantanamo Bay without a trial, without a jury, without a lawyer, without anything? He says, yeah, if they're dangerous.
He says this could happen because the National Defense Authorization Act gives the government the power to indefinitely detain American citizens who are accused of just having an association with terrorism. In a congressional statement, he warned when the government can arrest suspects without a warrant, hold them without trial, deny them access to counsel or admission of bail, we have shorn the Bill of Rights of its sanctity. But a spokesman from Senator John McCain's office, who was a lead sponsor of the bill, refuted Paul's statements, saying there is a section that preserves not just the right to habeas corpus, but all constitutional rights enjoyed by every person before a court of the United States. So not having a clear definition of terrorism is problematic because Americans might not have equal protections if they're considered a terrorist. And what constitutes a terrorist is rather expansive.
Having more than 7 days worth of food is one of the criteria for being a terrorist. Having multiple weapons at home, anybody, we won't ask you to raise your hand. Likes to pay in cash, has changed the color of your hair recently. We're not going to get too personal here. Stains on your clothing means you might be making bombs. Missing fingers. Anybody ever met a farmer who might be missing a finger?
President Obama's former chief of staff, Rahm Emanuel, lost a finger after accidentally cutting it off in a meat slicer. But how is this criteria for a terrorist suspect? According to a document obtained by Public Intelligence, a training program for law enforcement that's funded by the Department of Justice included the following potential terrorist indicators. Keeps records on computers, near identified potential target carrying video cameras, person observed with maps, rental of self-storage space, presence of pamphlets, having hair dyes in your home. So I took to the streets to see if I could find anyone who met this criteria. These are the criteria for suspected people. Pretty much everyone could be considered a terrorist. And according to Rand Paul, this is how American citizens could be indefinitely detained. In Washington, Perry and Boring, RT.